week on Candice, we go through the most important news stories that are facing our nation. And today I am joined by Turning Point USA spokesperson and Republican strategist, Erin Elmore. Plus, he's back, former police officer and author of Beaten Black and Blue. Welcome back, Brandon Tatum. I'm going to start because I'm really fired up about basically everything that's going on with the children in the classrooms. And I feel like, especially me and you, Brandon, have been talking about how progressivism is just regressivism. It's just like they're so forward, they're backwards. And a Black mother in Atlanta stood up to the principal after realizing that her daughter was actually being segregated.
Are implementing those very things without any influence. They are doing it to themselves. It is incredibly crazy that a Black woman, with all that has gone on, she's probably woken and woke, crying about white supremacy every day, but yet she's segregating these classes, putting children at a disadvantage. But I'm fortunate, and it's fortunate, and I'm glad that the Black mom stood up and said, you know, I'm not okay with this. We're not going back down this path. I believe in having, equal education for my child, and we're not gonna, go back past Martin Luther King's. Yeah.
And I will say, actually, it's something that I've noticed with the left, like this is the Machiavellian scheme of leftism, is that they've taught people to oppress themselves, right? So they never really changed anything they were doing. They just said, how can we convince people that doing this to themselves is a type of virtue, right? So if you're Black, now the education system is teaching you that, like, to be the ultimate best kind of Black person, you oppress yourself, right? You basically say, I'm gonna be away from white people because I'm so alert and educated about how bad white people are that I'm actually gonna remove myself from the scenario, which is just teaching people to self-segregate. What the left does better than anybody else is that they teach people to oppress themselves.
And they don't even know that they're doing it.
They don't know they're doing it. They're fighting to oppress themselves, which is incredible to me. Like, it's like nothing I've ever seen. And that's a sad truth. And they don't realize that you've been taught to believe that that's a virtue. To abort your children is a virtue.
It's crazy what we've done, and nobody's, the popular narrative is not to come out and address these things.
Who does that hurt? What communities does that hurt the most? You can speak to that better than anyone as a former police officer. Defunding the police hurts the inner city neighborhoods.
They're the ones that use us, right? I mean, nobody's driving, police are not in Martha's Vineyard, they're not driving.
No, just COVID's there.
Yeah, just.
No, COVID's not there.
Yeah.
Sophisticated bunch.
Yes.
Yeah, we're definitely just in a really, really bad place in this country right now. But I do think that in a way it's good that parents are starting to see that, yes, you're just manifesting the exact same policies of the past that you swore you were getting away from, because progressivism is regressivism.
Moms and the dads in this country who are just average moms and dads, didn't ever want to be political, they're going to save this country.
Yeah.
They are going to
save. They're going to have to.
Because I know a lot of moms, we are the ones that are doing the hard work. There's a group from my former town of Philadelphia called the Conservative Women of the Main Line. These women had no political aspirations. They were playing tennis and living their best lives. And then they saw their kids learning critical race theory. They saw their kids being stuck in masks all day. They saw their kids not going to school for 18 months. And now they're a group of moms, a group of dads that have come together and said, enough, we are running for a school board. We are changing our schools. We can't live like this anymore. It's those moms and dads.
I believe it. I think there's nothing like the power of mothers, especially when they get together. Like, mom, like we can instantly turn to like the CIA and the FBI if we want
all
to.
at once.
Like something about women, like when we are passionate about something, it's like, that's it. I will find the data. I will be in the trenches. I will do whatever I need to do. We have a very special skill set, is all I'll say. Okay.
Ooh, I think I have a good one. So, I don't know if you know this, jogging is racist. Being on time is racist.
I knew.
But the new one, everybody, that's racist, American Express says capitalism is racist.
American Express.
So they brought in someone, I think one of the grandsons of the Nation of Islam. He came in and said, capitalism is racist. But American Express has a white CEO that makes in the 20s of millions of dollars a year. They're making their employees, they're beating it into them. You are racist. You are an oppressor. Making these employees talk about why they're an oppressor and making them feel bad. But he isn't donating any of his salaries to communities of color. If they were so worried about capitalism being racist, why wouldn't they just say, hey, people of color, we're paying off your credit card debt?
Right.
Instead, they're going to talk about how it's racist. They're going to virtue signal all the live long day, but not do anything about it. Now that is the way of the left.
I wish they had like give me a black card on American Express. give me some benefits for being black. You know, I could just swipe for a week and become the CEOs. They become the COOs. They become the marketing team. And then they begin to push these woke concepts that are destroying businesses. I really cannot imagine a person who, you know, came from nothing, built something great in America on capitalism, and then they put a person in place as a CEO that's going to destroy everything.
Right.
I cannot believe that American Express, you know, would even think to do anything like that or use rhetoric. They are literally the epitome of capitalism.
It is.
And I love it.
And the American dream.
Right.
Have you met a taxi driver, an Uber driver, a construction worker, a police officer that's liberal? Never.
No, I've never met
You know
one.
why? These people work for a living. They're out there busting their back
Right.
for the American dream. They are always conservative these days.
You know, not to spin a conspiracy theory, but like to me, it does make you wonder, have these companies sold out, you know, to China? You know, because none of this makes sense. So to me, everywhere I look right now in America, it just seems that the purpose of all these initiatives is to collapse America.
Correct.
You can't, because we can't sustain like this, obviously. Like, this is going to be the story of an empire that literally corroded from the inside out. Like half of everything you have, because they are, hello, I'm 22 and I'm amazing. Like these kids have all the cheerleader spirit in the world. You know what I mean? Like I'm amazing, I'm great, and here's why you need to pay me $100,000 to literally like run and go get coffee. This is what we're producing. America cannot survive like this.
Cheerleader spirit without the cheerleader skills.
Right.
Yeah.
When people say, how did you get to where you are in television and broadcast? I was up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning for a decade.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to be Tucker Carlson.
Right. Yeah.
That's not how this works.
I'm here to be Tucker Carlson. And that's how they show up and they're Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, they show up at 22, and then I met a 22-year-old. That's what he told me. He said, I just want to be Tucker Carlson. I'm like, good luck with that. Do you know what he did, how he got there? And he had a job for 3 weeks, and he said, how do I get a raise? I'm like, maybe work there for 7 years, then you can ask for a raise.
Right. Yeah.
These kids have no work ethic.
I blame the
That's why our
parents.
children are going to be ballers, because we teach them already. Hard work.
Yeah.
I blame the parents. You know, it comes down to the parents. You teach your children to work hard. You teach them that nothing is given to them. That it's not going to just be handed to you. You know, my son can visibly see me work hard and go from point A to point B.
You're sending your child to school for 6 hours a day and they're learning that like everything is sprinkles and rainbows and they're wonderful human beings even when they get Fs.
Yeah.
And then you have the parents are having this very short time frame with them at home, dinner, bedtime, do your homework. It's hard to undo that indoctrination. Like they come to home and they think that they're wonderful human beings. Like
They're the greatest
that the greatest thing since sliced bread.
My son's school spirit day last year, it was about winning. It's about his competition, one team and the other team. In the video they showed them, it said, losing is good. I said, for what? To be a loser? No.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were trying to say there's a message in it, you can learn from it, but that's not what my son came home with.
Yeah.
It's okay to lose. I said, no, not in my house, it's not. Maybe over there. Maybe down at Liberal Susie's house.
Yeah, I know. I totally
ma'am.
agree. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what this next generation produces. Brandon, what do you have for us today?
I had two ones.
I'm producing our segment over here.
So the Batman and Robin
both,
thing,
do
the
both.
Batman and Robin thing is one thing that kind of struck me. You know, the fact that Robin is now a bisexual.
What?
He's come out the closet and he's now incredibly
Stop
woke.
it. Aren't they for children? Do they have to have, children don't talk about sex. Children don't think about sex. Children, this is not appropriate. This is not age appropriate.
I never thought about dating when I was watching Batman and Robin.
Not once.
They were kicking butt. That's all I was thinking about, kicking somebody's butt.
Working
like
hard,
Batman
kicking
was.
butt.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's incredible. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself that, years ago, because even the conservative side, everyone's like, why are you so adamantly opposed to the transgender? Nobody saw it coming. Like, nobody saw the LBGTQRS thing coming. Like, everyone was like, okay, like, after gay marriage, it's like, no, that was the first, like, win. Like, this is what, it is always a slippery slope. It's never enough, right? They're already fundraising. It's not like that this is cool. And kids are the most adaptable individuals. You would do anything. They will mimic it and say, okay, that's because this is what I'm seeing. This is what I should be doing. And it's monkey see, monkey do.
I said this in a video, one of my last videos. I said this is exactly where the path that they're going down. These organizations, the Alphabet, BLM, all this, they are not for the movement that they claim that they're for.
No, of course not.
LGBTQ don't care nothing about gay people.
Nope.
They have an agenda to normalize pedophilia. Do story time hour with a dude in a dress.
Right.
I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna go down there and shut it down. I ain't gonna be violent on here, but I'll go to jail over it. You're not gonna be dressing, have a man with his junk hanging out, dressing like a girl, trying to teach my son anything.
Right.
Because I will show up at that school.
No.
You're not gonna teach CRT to my child because I'm gonna show up at the school. And I wish that more parents will do that because we've been asleep behind the wheel.
Yep.
You know, we let them do it. They've been indoctrinating our kids. We look left. We let them play video games, watch TV. We're too busy with the Kardashians. And now the kids are out of control.
Right.
And now the kids are out of control.
Right.
Passive parenting is over.
It is.
Passive
It's
parenting.
over.
It's hyper-sexualized,
On us.
On
Stop
children
forcing it
especially.
on children.
Yeah.
It's gone too far, and it's all sexual.
Yeah,
It's not
overtly.
about love. It's not about a connection. It's about sex. The agenda is very, very clear. And I tell you what, in about 5 years, they're going to be supporting men dating young
100%.
boys. That's 100% what they're going
Protect
to
your
support.
kids.
I 100% protect the kids. And on that note, I do want to get to this story because I just want to commend this teacher. You guys may have been following this story in Virginia, Loudoun County. A lot of these, which I'm glad the parents are showing up now, at these board meetings to the teachers, and this woman could no longer stomach the indoctrination that she had to teach and the critical race theory. She felt like she was doing harm to the children. And I don't know if we have a clip of her speaking, but I think they're having trouble loading it. But this teacher resigning, I will say, I just want parents to understand your child equals dollars. You withdraw your children from school, that is more dollars they don't receive. They get funding because your child equates to literal dollars. And you can then take those dollars, and this is what we talk about with school choice all the time. People don't know.
I hope these things change, but it's going to take brave people. We've been sitting back a little too long and taking it on the chin. We got to start stepping up.
In effect, and by the way, let me just say this, and I forgot to even mention this. Do not put it past the government to ban homeschooling, okay? It
Oh my God.
just happened in France.
Stop.
I think that's a perfect place to end it, and I totally agree. I think now is the time for civil disobedience. I've said that over and over again, and when I say civil disobedience, I'm talking about going to see your family members. I'm talking about, without vaxxing yourself, carrying vax cards. These things are ridiculous. This is tyranny, okay? Civil disobedience as living your life like a normal human being, like you've always been allowed to do. You guys, please make sure to keep up with Erin and Brandon on social media. And up next, country legend Trace Adkins